Welcome to your Daily 5 for Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. Now, if you've listened to our show for a while, or in particular the Fives, you probably know that I'm not exactly somebody who is the biggest fan of Elon Musk or his handling of Twitter. But it is interesting because something has come up I think the first I saw of it was on Monday or Tuesday of this week, where there was an announcement where he said that any inactive accounts, which I believe by Twitter's definition is any accounts that haven't had a login within 30 days, are going to start being purged off the platform. Purged I assume means deleted, or at least made impossible to see or access. And a lot of people got very upset about this because for many people, they have family members who have passed away, or friends that, same thing, are dead, or for whatever reason, there are inactive accounts that people like to revisit. Now, I'll be honest, this was a new idea to me. If somebody has died, I don't have any relatives that are on Twitter anyway, so maybe this is something similar happens on Facebook, which I'm not on. So this may be something where it's just I'm too old to experience this phenomenon. But if somebody that I was following on Twitter died, I wouldn't follow them anymore. I would probably just unfollow that account because if they're dead, I don't know. The idea of revisiting or looking at posts from that type of thing just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. That's just me. I'm not saying that as any kind of criticism or judgment on anybody else. If that's what you do, then I imagine it's like a lot of... I don't look at pictures of my father very often either. I remember my father. I don't look at pictures of him that often, whereas a lot of people, they will look at pictures of dead relatives or their family members to remember them. I don't do that. So again, I'm not saying that I am the standard by everybody else by any stretch. I'm not comparing myself to normal people, but I didn't even think about this as a possibility when this announcement came out and I saw people being upset about it. My first thought was, what are they upset about? This is what any platform does. After a period of inactivity, generally accounts are either closed or deleted. It just makes sense. But a lot of people are upset about this for that very reason, that there are accounts that they follow that may be inactive, but that they feel like they should still be there. And on the one hand, this is a rare case where I see where Musk is coming from. I would not expect any company to maintain the account of an inactive user, especially where there's no money being made and it is taking up some quantifiable amount of storage. Yes, does a Twitter account take up a lot of storage? Probably not very much by itself, but you multiply that by however many inactive accounts, and I assume it adds up to some number. But I also do see where some people, if they're using this as a memorial type of thing, a way to visit people or revisit people, then I do understand where some of that upset comes from, but I don't know on which side of that fence I fall because... Again, these are free accounts. I'm assuming most of them are not being paid for. I'm guessing these people aren't dead and still paying for a Twitter Blue account because I think those were all reset anyway. But on the other hand, it is something that people are used to. But is that, I don't know. This is a weird kind of thing to consider because I think I'm kind of erring more on Musk's side on this. I think if it was me in this position... although the one big hang up on things like this is, of course, there may be people who would be willing to pay and maintain these accounts that don't have access. Because if a person has died, it can be very difficult to then get access, even if that person wanted you to. Let's say that there was a spouse or family member that would want you to maintain the account, but they died unexpectedly before they could, say, put it in a will or... some of the way that digital rights transfer are still kind of murky. So I don't know what Twitter's setup for that is. So if you don't have a login, but you want to preserve the account, you may not be able to, even if you are willing to pay. So I would imagine, and part of this is, of course, like so many things that Elon Musk says, not a lot of details, not a really coherent policy, no indication that this has actually been thought out, as opposed to somebody writing it on a whiteboard somewhere and him saying, oh yeah, that's probably costing us money, let's do away with that, and then just announcing it. So once there's more detail around this, it may not be as bad as some people are making it out to be, but as it's currently broadly stated, I really don't know where I fall on it. So I'm actually kind of curious what you, the listeners, think of this. Is this a case where Musk is right and these accounts should go away? Or is there something to having these accounts be maintained for people to revisit? I don't know. This is just kind of a new thing to me. So let me know later.